Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to do a spooky set. First off, we're going to use some cuticle softener and we're going to push back our cuticles. I use Blue Cross, I believe. I'll link everything down below. So now that we pushed back our cuticles, we're just going to use some nippers to cut our cuticles. The softener that we used earlier is going to make it really easy. So now we're going to use Panna sanding bands and we're just going to go all around our natural nail bed to take away the shine and create scratches. I'm using 240 grit, which is like the less coarse one. After we finish taking away the shine of every single nail, we're just going to size out our tips and we want to make sure that our sidewalls are both equal. My nails are still shiny because I'm using a peel off coat, but we're just going to use kids glue and we're going to glue our tips on. Now that our tips are glued, we're just going to use some tip cutters and we're going to make the nails the same length. So now we're just going to use the same sanding band that we used on our natural nail bed and we're going to use it to even out the tip to the natural nail. So after we finish blending out all the tips, we're just going to use some lint-free wipes and take away all the dust, and we're going to use some pH bond and base coat. I didn't use it because I was using peel off coat. So now we're just going to go with Makartt Pews, I think that's how you say it. And we're just going to have our alcohol in the container. We're going to put the bead in the middle of the nail. You want to make sure that your brush isn't too wet or too dry. If it's too wet, the alcohol can later on cause lifting, and if it's too dry, you can't work. Notice that I put my bead in the middle of my nail, not too close to the cuticle area so that I won't flood it, and you just want to tap the product down. Notice that I'm not dragging my product down, I'm tapping it. I'm not putting any pressure as I'm pulling it down, just because if you put too much pressure, all the polygel is going to get stuck to your brush and it's harder to work with. You want to make sure that you're cleaning up your sidewalls, because the more you clean up, the easier it'll be when you file, because you will already have kept the same shape as the tip. We're just going to cure the lamp for 60 seconds and we're going to add another layer of the same polygel just to make it opaque and to build apex. As you can tell, on my first layer it was too thin. We're just going to repeat the same process on every single nail. So now we're just going to use Makartt clear, and we're going to focus it anywhere that there's a bump in the nail so that we can even it out. So filing will be easier, and also this helps with apex as well. Makartt polygel is more on the thicker side, so sometimes you have to put a little bit more pressure to move it around. So now we're just going to repeat the same process on every single finger, and we're going to cure in the lamp for 60 seconds. After, we're going to start filing, and filing on yourself is pretty hard, especially because you can't have your finger as stable, so you have to like put your fingers in every single position to try to get it as straight as you can to file correctly. So I'm so sorry if that was out of frame. So now we're going to take pen and extra fine bit, and we're going to go all around our cuticle area to seal it. Sometimes your nail can look like it's not formed correctly, but honestly, once you file correctly, your apex will show perfectly, and taking away the lumps will even it out, and your nail will come together. So after I finish filing all the nails, I'm gonna dust off all the dust with a brush, and I'm gonna use some alcohol and just clean up all around the nail, and we're gonna start with the nail art. I'm honestly not good at nail art. I have a shaky hand, but honestly, sometimes all that matters is your brush. So I suggest getting a thin brush so that your lines will be thick as hell. It's a long one. So the longer the brush, the more steadier your lines are. You want to make sure that if you like a line, you cure it in the lamp, because if you're like me that has a shaky hand, you're going to go over it with acetone a lot, and you just want to make sure that you keep what you like so it'll be easier to draw. So with these white lines, you want to make sure that you just feather the line on top. Don't put a lot of pressure, because then it'll look weird. And what I didn't show is that I went and double crossed it, so I make little crosses on it, and it'll look super cute. If you're not good with nail art, dotting tool is going to be your best friend. I just used white, and honestly, as you can tell, I just kind of did the shape of the head, and any line that I didn't like, I cleaned up with a brush and 100% acetone. Like I said, you want to make sure you cure what you like so that when you go and you mess up something, you don't take it off as well. I honestly kept changing between a bigger dotting tool and a smaller one to make this design, and it actually came out pretty cute as long as you don't look at it too long. So now we're just gonna go with gelish top coat, and we're gonna cure every single nail. I feel like this set would look cute matte as well, but I feel like I wanted it glossy more. Now we're just gonna use some rhinestones, and I'm gonna use kids glue. I used to use a rhinestone glue, but I had seen a video that actually it lasts longer with nail glue, and I tried it out, and honestly it does. So what I use is a nail glue dryer, which is like a spray that dries it quick so that you don't spend time trying to dry it. It's like on site. So after I glued all the rhinestones, I just did for the perfect charm for this set, and they turned out really cute. I hope you guys like them, and I'll see you guys on my next video.